Joining me now from Southern California, attorney and congressional candidate for California 28, which is a seat currently occupied by a gentleman by the name of Adam Schiff. Here's Eric Early. Adam, excuse me, Eric. I didn't mean to insult you that way. Adam's the guy you want to defeat. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this national database, this does cause concern, and I'll tell you why. Because it is, in the end, it's the people, the corrupt individuals in the swamp that the president wants to get rid of and drain, who will, in the end, be in control of databases like this. And it just concerns me that they could be tainting good police officers, in control of the lives of good police officers, and making them look bad through a national database. It's just something that really kind of terrifies me. And I know being a police officer is a choice, but I think it could be another piece of layer that would keep people from entering into the work in blue.
Well, Graham, let me start by saying I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement around our country. Law enforcement does thousands and thousands of acts of bravery and acts of kindness every single day of the week. They keep all of us safe. You never see any of those videos. And I believe we should increase funding to law enforcement. This decreased funding movement is an outrage, something that my opponent Schiff, of course, supports, something that this insane mayor in Los Angeles here supports. But I'll tell you, listen, I support the president, Graham. When you're talking about databases or what he was referring to, one thing I can tell you is I have a very good friend of mine, a former police chief, and he was 25 years rank and file. And he said police chiefs around the country, they know the very, very, very small percentage of bad cops. I mean, it's just a small percentage, and they can't fire these guys. And so we do need a way to be able to, fire the bad cops. And I'll tell you, you talk to any good cop, and that's over 95% of law enforcement out there, they'll tell you the thing they hate the most is a bad cop, for all of the reasons that we can all sort of that we all know.
We need a database on the federal government, I think, in general, right? Because we can't fire these tenured employees, these members of the swamp. That's where we need the national database. But when you talk about defunding police, Eric, and you talk about Los Angeles, the second largest city in the country, and you talk about the mayor, who is all for this right now, slashing somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 million from the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay, fine. If they're going to start cutting, then we need to start cutting protection for the mayor and for the city council and all of these perks and all of these people who are protected by the LAPD. We need to start from there.
So true. Isn't it interesting that the ones calling for defunding, at least the ones in government here, the Democrats, have police security round the clock? The Schiffs, the Garcettis, this character Newsom who runs our state. Absolutely, we should start looking at their own protection forces. Out here, the people saw on TV, we were watching it constantly, the rioting, the looting, the outrage that went on here a couple weeks ago. I was so proud of our LAPD, and our Glendale PD and Pasadena PD, our sheriffs out here, West Hollywood PD, on and on. The restraint they showed when they were having bricks thrown at them, rocks thrown at them, water bottles thrown at them, bars thrown at them, maniacs running up to them and yelling in their face, trying to hit them. And what did they get as a reward? They had this spineless mayor out here, Garcetti, come out right after those horrible events and say that he was going to defund over $150 million from the police department.
And he's well on his way right now to doing exactly that. And when you step back and you look at the big picture, Eric, this is an effort to destroy the civil society in Los Angeles, but also from coast to coast. This is the goal of these blue city mayors and these blue city governors, even though we have a president of the United States who's trying to uphold the rule of law and the civil society. They're trying to undermine it real time right now. And it's part of if you look at the Cloward-Piven model, they're trying to overwhelm. And if you look at also what's going on in California, for example, the sanctuary, the rule of law is under assault in California from multiple angles and not getting any support from the United States Supreme Court. Here was a chance at the United States Supreme Court for them to say, you know what? You are in violation of the Constitution. You are trying to nullify the United States Constitution.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.